each and every week. We like to show off the fresh picks we get, whether they be in the mail, right? Whether they be at our local comic book shop, whether they be brand new issues, whether they be back issues. We are looking for the fresh from the comic shop, all your fresh picks from each and every week. And I'm glad that we have Swagglehaus here. Each of us will show off 5 books, but we want you guys in the comments to tell us what you got. And we want you guys to tag us in Instagram and tell us what you got. I have to say, I'm a little bit disappointed in everybody here because we had one entry, guys. One entry from our audience showing off what they got. And we're going to start first because he's a regular viewer and we love him. He drinks
but this entry was golden, I must say.
You're biased, man. You are biased. I don't know about that. Swagglehaus, I don't know if you know what we got coming up, but this is Bishner. He's a regular viewer, and he just had to show this off, and I know he's just smiling, thinking about what Chris thought. It's a Warlock Watch number 1, a 9.8. Well done, Bishner. Thank you for participating in Fresh from the Comic Shop. Guys, it's that easy. Just tag us, and we'll show your fresh gets each and every week. Just do it. But tell us in the comments what you guys picked up too. We'll try and track those as we go through and talk about these things. So, Mickey, since you are our guest, you get to go first. So we're going to bring you up full screen. You're going to tell us what you got and any other information you want to share with us.
All right, very cool. So this one I picked up. You know, I'm not someone who is a reader of Transformers comic books, but when I found out that they were making a Beast Wars comic book, high school Mickey couldn't pass this one up. He had to, cash in full nostalgia. So I picked up Transformers Beast Wars #1, and I am so excited I got this book. This was like nostalgia overload. Like, I read it right away, and I immediately had to go down like a YouTube wormhole of watching old episodes and intro credits and everything like that, because I love this cartoon from back in the day, as campy as it was, but had to pick it up. I'm super excited that they decided to make a series for it.
How dare you call Transformers campy? Take it back.
I take it back. Okay, let me just say that the graphics at the time were amazing, but when you look back, they're definitely a little bit dated.
Fair, but as you're alluding to, you have a fondness very close to your heart when it comes to Transformers. As do I. On the Transformers tip, I do want to say, my daughter, she's getting into comic books and all of this kind of, all of these characters and stuff, but there's a My Little Pony Transformers crossover she loves. She loves it.
I saw that. I saw that on the rack. That looked super, like what a weird mashup, but very, very cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's French. It's called Friendships in Disguise, and they're coming out with the 2nd series. Anyways, I want to say hi to Kaya B. Hello, Kaya B. Thank you for joining us. But next, we're gonna go with Chris. Chris is and again, guys, put in the comments what you guys picked up this week. I don't see a lot of people telling us what they got. But Chris, your turn. What do you got?
Well,
fresh from the comic shop.
Maybe redundant at this point, but I put my pre-order in for this book, and I finally got it, and I'm just glad. I'm looking at it, and it's so beautiful. I got this from State of Comics. Again, big shout out to State of Comics. And that is Lee Ming Spider-Man number 55. Beautiful nice. Second print with the red cover. So, I did get my first print in my mail subscription. I picked this one up, and I don't know. You know what? I'll tell you what I might do with this. I might send this book off to EGS, Expert Grading Service, because they do those custom labels. And now that I'm thinking about it, one of those custom labels would look amazing on this black and red book. So
here's a thought. That's a great pickup, by the way. It's a beautiful cover, but they got the third printing. Have you guys seen what the third printing looks like?
The kind of bluish. Yeah. I'm waiting for a green one, man. They need to do a green one.
I don't know about that, but
yeah, I love green. That's my favorite color.
You know what I do know? P. Keel shared with us what he got. He got a G.I. Joe 21 CGC 9.0. I guess he cracked it and pressed it, and it should come back a 9.4 or a 9.6. That is good stuff. Anybody else? What else? Oh, Bishner. I also got a 9.8 Spider-Man Torment Silver from a mystery box. I saw you post that, man. That is a beautiful one. Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else? Real quick, before I get into my first book I'm going to share. I think Tom Tormey got an Avengers Mech Strike. I don't know. It's good stuff, man. I thought you were a DC guy, though. Good stuff. All right, guys. I'm gonna preface this now. All my books are new from this past week. Usually, I like to throw in some old, especially the dollar bin books that I find, and I'm like, holy, I can't believe I found this. But I don't have any of those this week, so I'm just prefacing it with the new books I got. So here we go. My first, fresh from the comic shop, guys. I love this series, even though I've only read the first 2 issues, and now it's on issue 8. I really got to catch up, but I love this cover. Strange Academy, number 8. Look at that cover. I am absolutely loving. I'm loving all the covers for this series. They do a fantastic job, especially a lot of the variants they got going on. But I'm into the series. I know it's hot. I mean, we all know it's probably going to turn up either on a screen or a movie theater somewhere. But it's a really, I mean, it's a fun series with new characters, and you can't ask for anything more when it comes to that. So that is my pickup right there. My first pickup I'm sharing with y'all from fresh from the comic shop. So Mickey, it's your turn, man.
All right. I know that the segment is called Fresh from the Comic Shop, and this one isn't that fresh in terms of its release, but it was, for me, fresh from the comic shop.
That's what it's about. That's what fresh from the comic shop is about.
I actually managed to find a Last Ronin, which I never, I missed the boat with this one. Like, I don't have a pull list. I didn't do pre-orders and things like that, and it definitely made me change my mind about how I should start doing them in the future. But I missed the boat on this one, and I thought that it would just be one. Okay, just let it ride. But I went into my comic shop, and they actually happened to have a handful of copies of this, and they were actually selling it at cover price because there was handling issues with these ones. And you can see down here, right there, just a tiny little nick in the corner. So for that reason, they sold it at cover price. But hey, like, I just wanted to read the story, so I was happy to pick it up. And yeah, I mean, for cover price for Last Ronin, this many weeks. I feel like I got to do it.
I think you win there. By the way, Kaya B picked up Amazing Spider-Man 797, 798. She also, or here, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you are, but 799 and 800 as well. That's the Red Goblin series, so that's a good pickup, Kaya. Gary Woods got my pre-order of that second print Amazing Spider-Man this week. Let's see, anything else? Oh, somebody, Tricky Clicky wants a hot pink webhead.
I feel like they're gonna do all the colors.
Right.
I mean, it's gonna get old. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Moving on. So we have Chris, you're up.
Well, I showed you my first pick. Should I do it for my second pick?
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
All right. Let's do something that I've been reading my Amazing Spider-Man 2. We'll do some more Spider-Man action, but I actually am kind of digging what's going on here in this run, and that's Symbiote Spider-Man. This is number 3.
I love that.
I haven't read this yet. I just read 1 and 2, but I like what Peter David's doing so far. So basically, this is a storyline that takes place in the 80s, like right around, when Peter was wearing the symbiote before, he ripped it off and created Venom. So it's basically, I don't know if you would use the term retcon, but it's basically going back and showing you or telling you a story how Noel was always there. So I'll just kind of leave it at that so I don't give too much away for those that want to read it. What I find interesting about it too is I do believe this was the series that got the Mr. E hype on that Marvel Spotlight book that was like a dollar bin book that just shot through the roof.
It wasn't.
So yeah, I'm really interested in seeing where it goes. I'm telling you, Peter David is capturing the tone, the tone, which I'm kind of, and not to go too deep into this, but being such a Spider-Man fan, I got to kind of rant. I appreciated Nick Spencer coming on to Amazing Spider-Man. I felt like they saw the wrongs that Dan Slott did for so long and they were going to fix it. But then it just like lingered and lingered and lingered. And now it's like, I don't know what's going on. And like the tone is just lost again. And so when I started reading this, I was like, oh, there it is. There it is. So
Peter David's awesome.
Really good run. I just hope what I'm just kind of being skeptical I hope they don't kind of like retcon too much where it just becomes so, this null stuff becomes too redundant with what had happened in the past, but I'm good so far.
No, that cover's awesome. That Captain that's the first Captain Marvel I was introduced to. Like that was her. That's how I knew Captain Marvel. But I love that cover. So that's a good pickup, Chris. All right, guys. So I'm sure a ton of you guys have this one here. This is it started off amazing for the first 20 issues. The next 10 are like, nah. It's coming back. It's picking up now because of King in Black, but I haven't read this one yet. I read the last, but this is Venom 33. I actually prefer the other cover B, over this one. I don't know why. I should have just switched it up, but I'm enjoying King in Black and Venom. I'm not collecting any of the tie-ins at all. I think it's just getting a little crazy with how many tie-ins are there. So yeah, this is my second pick from Fresh from the Comic Shop. All right. Charlie Kirkland, hey, is Captain Marvel a dude? The first Captain Marvel was a dude, but Monica Rambeau became Captain Marvel as well. So it's kind of there's a lot of Captain Marvels. Planet Arizona Comics. I got that Immortal Hulk that's been recalled. Do you guys know about this?
No, I don't know about it.
There is. I haven't seen it, but there is. There's a panel in there, and it says jewelry instead of jewelry. There's a shop. It says jewelry. Jewery, and there's like I think a Star David. So a lot of people are saying that's that's too much of a coincidence that
right.
It's anti-Semitic. So I'm not sure. They're recalling it now. I would not want that. I would not want that to be a kind of a spec book and get hot because of that reason. That's disgusting. Not saying Planet Arizona picked it up because of that. I'm sure, as most people picked it up, didn't even realize it until they read somewhere that it was what it was. But that's an interesting. It's an interesting book. It's going to be interesting to see the fallout, what happens there. All right, so Mickey, third pick. What'd you get? Fresh from the Comic Shop.
Third pick. I don't know if Sith Lordly is in the chat, but I had to get a Star Wars book, right? So everybody's reading High Republic. Everybody loves this stuff, so I had to get Star Wars High Republic #2. It's a great read. It's definitely something that's super, super fun. I didn't realize that, I actually really appreciated on the inside that they kind of break down like, oh, here's all the, eras as they relate to each other. Cause I know a little bit about the Star Wars lore, but not too much. So it's good to know kind of what the context is here. And I didn't even realize, cause I hadn't read the first one until I got this one, but I didn't really realize that Yoda was a character who was like in the mix with this. So
wow, yeah.
I was definitely excited to see that.
I'm liking what they're going to be doing with this. It's so exciting. It's bringing, it's completely out of the Skywalker trail, the Skywalker lore, right? And it's got a fresh start. You can do whatever you want with it, and you're not tied down by a lot of things. And I'm super excited about it, and I'm super excited to see how they're going to adapt some of that in the Acolyte on the Disney Plus series for Star Wars. That's pretty sweet. All right, so Dan De La Torre, he also got a Tales to Astonish 82 CGC 7.0 white pages. So Mariner versus Iron Man. Is that the first time because that's a classic one, I do believe, Dan. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, Christopher, you are up.
Well, great minds do think alike. So, Mickey, I'm going to follow your lead because I, too, picked up Star Wars, The High Republic,
nice.
#2. I just think, for us to both show this book off, I just think it goes to show that there is just so much love right now going on for Star Wars. And look, there's the hype around it, but I want to read it too. I've always been a big Star Wars head, and I want to, like you were saying, Jeff, I really want to dive into this and see what they're doing, outside, the norm and these new takes. Now, I swear I ordered my issue 1 via previews, but I guess I didn't. But I did order, and then I thought I ordered the second print, but I guess I didn't. I don't know, but I ordered the third print of issue 1. So when I get that, I am going to read it, and then I'll be able to start reading it because I haven't read anything yet, but I absolutely want to.
That's interesting because I have to say, guys, that's the first time we've ever had Fresh from the Comic Shop where we've had the same issue picked, right? By 2 people. But guys, let's make it 3.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Make it 3, right? And I gotta say, I'm enjoying this. I've read both issues, issue 1, issue 2. This dude Skier has got some depth to him. There's something interesting about this dude. Keep an eye on him. I really, really enjoy it. I'm psyched you guys got it too. I'm excited to hear what you guys think about it when you do read it. Oh, you read it, right? Right, Mickey?
I did read it, and I actually, it is really cool how, in the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy, it's like, all the lore is based on like this era, this like, Jedis are a bygone era, it's like everything is kind of like, there's only one left. And here in this era, it was kind of cool. It's just cool to see that's like, there's a dime a dozen, or like Jedis are all over the place. So that's really interesting territory to like explore, which is really fun.
I'm really psyched, and I'm excited to see it go on other screens as well. Before we get your next one, Mickey, we got Matt Stadahar. Picked up Maniac of New York 1 and Haha 1. Now, Maniac of New York 1, I cannot remember what publisher that is, but that's definitely an interesting book. I have one coming on the way. It's getting mailed to me. Haha 1 was, geez, man, that's a hot book. So good on you for picking those up. All right. And Dan, we really appreciate you kind of including us in the great minds. I'm assuming that you have number 2 as well. All right, here we go. Mickey, you're next, man.
All right. Well, Jeff, I know that you always bring some good dollar bin, books. So coming into this week's episode, knowing that I was going to be on the show, I figured, all right, let me get into these dollar bins and see if I can find anything good. And I think I found something pretty awesome. And this ties to what you guys were talking about earlier with Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I managed to find a very well-read copy of Captain America 323, which is the first appearance of John Walker, who I believe Wyatt Russell is the name of the actor who's playing him.
I think so, yeah.
But I managed to find this book. It is definitely well read. Maybe it presents better than it feels. I think that there's some like warping going on. Maybe there's some water damage with this one. But for $1, I feel like how could I not grab this one? So pretty cool find in a dollar bin. And you never know when you dig in the bins.
Not only is it great because it's the first appearance of John Walker, but it's got the 25th anniversary.
That's true.
Cover too. Oh man, I love those. So that's a great pickup for $1, especially, man. Even though it may be warm, but it's still honestly, that's a great issue to pick up. All right, Chris, what do you got?
All right, well, I'm gonna carry on a theme here. Another run that I absolutely want to start reading. And I'm really interested in seeing how this might tie in to the grander Marvel scheme of things. And that's Star Wars High Republic Adventures number 1. So, I really like what IDW has been doing with their licensed properties. So far, they've done the Marvel actions with the Marvel superheroes, with the Star Wars stuff going on now with the adventure stuff. So my son loves all their, licensed property stuff. And I want to really get into this and just to see, because like you said, there's so much to be done here with Star Wars. They're just getting started. And, like I said, I haven't even read the High Republic. So, I haven't read anything to even try to speculate on it if there's gonna be some type of crossover, or we're gonna see some of similar characters or just storylines that start painting this bigger picture.
Yeah, right. I think it's interesting. I'm like, do you know, because Marvel's doing one and IDW is doing the other, but they're all connected, right?
Yes. So Marvel is overseeing what IDW does. IDW's they tend to, with the Star Wars, they tend to go skew younger to a younger audience,
right?
So it's interesting, but first let me get to my book real quick, and we'll get into that in a sec, because I have to say, not even kidding, like that's my 4th book as well. And guys, I read this. This does not feel like it skews younger. And there's so many first appearances. If you can find this book, I would suggest getting it. Not only one copy, but a couple copies. And I'm surprised to say, B. Schnur, that you did not find. I'm surprised to hear that you did not find a copy. I feel like they were abundant where I am. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's the case now, but the issue 1 sold that people were just having trouble finding any copy of that, let alone the Hans variant and all the other variants. So this one right here, I feel like you'll still be able to walk into a shop and find it. I don't know how many shops are around you though.
Yeah, I definitely noticed when I went to my LCS, like there was a lot of people lining up, and I felt like even though everybody was picking up those 2 Star Wars books, like it felt like the stores knew to order a lot of copies for this one. So yeah, I think you can probably find it in an LCS if you can. Maybe not the one that you went to, but maybe there's another one.
I would definitely keep at it. I want to honestly, Matt. Can you please phonetically spell your last name? I butcher it all the time. And Kaya, I apologize to you as well. I just want to say that, throw it out there. All right, so here we go. Who's up? It's Mickey already. Man, this is going by quick, isn't it?
You're just going around the horn.
All right, here we go.
This one is one that, if you've watched videos that I've made before, I always talk about how I love B tier villains, I was the guy who, when I watched like wrestling growing up, I would like root for like Rick the Motto Martel and characters like that. I don't know why. There's just something funny about it. So I found a copy. This is the second time I found this copy, but this is a shout out to Dan, who I know is watching right now. I got Defenders number 18. And what is the significance of this? This is the first appearance of a B villain team known as the Wrecking Crew. And they're like the jobbers when it comes to like Avengers bad guys. Like these guys, they always get put up against heroes, but they always get, wrecked. They call them the Wrecking Crew. Not for that reason. No pun intended. But I had to pick this book up. I love, the mustache twirling bad guys. So anytime I come across a book that has a first appearance of a B tier villain, I got to pick it up. So this is the one I got.
Fantastic. That's a good pickup. That's got to be a 70s book, right? It's got to be from the 70s.
Yeah, it's. I think it's a Bronze Age. Yeah.
That's a good pickup. All right. That was your last book. This went quick. This was very fun having you in this. Now, Chris, we got Chris and then my last pick as well. So Chris, what do you got?
All right. So, might surprise some of you guys here. We've said this before. Sometimes when you hit up the comic shop.
No. God.
Sometimes when you're hitting the comic shop, there's other things in the comic shop. Obviously, I had to show off my Transformer Back to the Future mashup a couple weeks back. Nothing big and crazy here, but just a little different, guys.
All right. I thought you were going somewhere else. I'm sorry.
Nah, what is this? It's a book with no pictures in it. Let's get close. Let's do. Yeah, so this is Star Wars: The Mandalorian Armor, The Bounty Hunter's War, Book 1. And look, just with everything going on with the Mandalorians and Boba, like I saw this and I said, you know what? I'm going to pick that up and I want to read it. I haven't hit a little side drop here. I just graduated school about a year and a half ago now. I was in school for 5 years, getting my bachelor's degree, and I spent years reading textbooks that are this big, right? And and I am one of those that actually read the textbooks and highlighted stuff and took notes. I didn't just find clip notes, all right? I love reading novels, and I just got away from it. I got away from reading comics during that time too. So thankfully, over the last year or so, I've been able to read more comics, but it's about time. I was burnt out, but now I want to get back into reading a novel. I recommend that you all, as much as I recommend keep up with the comics and keep reading comics, once in a while, pick up a good book that sparks your imagination.
That's honestly, that was a good call. And I'm glad you did something a little different there. I do want to, well, first off, what's up, One Shot Comics? How are you? And also, he gives you props. That trilogy is great. I think the book that you picked up there. All right. This is your last chance, everybody in the chat here. Tell us what you got fresh from the comic shop. Don't forget to send us, tag us on Instagram next week so we can show yours just like we showed Be schnurrs. Anyways, this is my last pickup, guys. Fresh from the comic shop, okay? I absolutely love this series. I love this series. It was one of my favorites of last year. I have not read this issue yet. I've been very busy this week, guys. Get off my back. Firepower number 8. Look at that cover, Chris Samnee. Oh my goodness. I absolutely love this series. If you guys are not reading this series, you're missing out. I mean, it's Robert Kirkman, Chris Samnee. It's such a good book. It's got a lot of kung fu mystic stuff, not too much mystic stuff, but man, it's so much fun. The thing I love about this cover is it's all black here, and it just is smooth. I just like when you get a black cover and it's just smooth. Nice. There's no no nicks, spine ticks, or anything else involved. You know what I mean? So that is it. I'm so psyched about. Like, I got excited because I forgot it came out this week, and when I saw, I was like, oh, at my comic shop, they post on Instagram. I'm like, oh yeah, Firepower comes out this week. I am super pumped about that. Again, guys, let's see. What did you pick up? One Shot Comics picked up Something is Killing the Children trade, Volume 1 today.
Nice.
That's a good.
I gotta pick that up.
Everybody is I
got that one too for my son.
Planet Arizona. Ooh, thanks, Jeff. I always forget about the Instagram thing. Yeah, hit us up, Planet Arizona Comics. Tell us what you got, and we'll put it up. Like, it's this easy, guys. It's this easy. Watch. Bishner sent his in. We post it. Okay? It's that easy. We did that a little bit earlier. But
I would have sent mine in, but I figured I probably shouldn't do it because I'm on the show.
No need for you. By the way, Mickey, you are getting some props in the chat here. Let's see if I can find that comment, because I think it was Dan De La Torre.
I sucked up to him by showing a Defenders book, though.
He's like, you gotta have. He did say you gotta have Swagglehaus as a regular returning guest, and then immediately after that, he says Defenders are so underrated. So I think those two things are related.
Yeah. I'll just know that if I ever get a chance to come back on, I'll be sure to always think about bringing a Defenders book.